So the Pittsburgh Steelers just got back-to-back contract bombshells. And the first one, I'm going to get to the second one, but the first one is four-time All-Pro defensive tackle Cam Heyward. Guess what? He hasn't practiced yet. It doesn't look like he's going to practice. At first, it looked like the coaching staff was like saving him, saving some wear and tear on his body, maybe a veteran's like courtesy. But now it's coming out, most notably broken by Adam Schefter, that since there's been a raise in the defensive market, it's seen a reset, right? The market has gone way up, and Cam Heyward is looking for a restructured contract that just has not gotten done. So he hasn't participated in practice. And kind of looking at the contract that he has now, he's scheduled to make $14.75 million this year, $13.4 million of that already having been earned, already in his pocket through roster bonus in March. Now he's seeking a raise in the defensive market that, once again, it's hit a reset. So he's not dressing. He didn't dress for Thursday's practice, and he also declined interview requests through a team representative. So you might be thinking, like, what gives? Didn't Heyward just get a deal done last year? I mean, he has 2 years remaining. I talked about what he has due this year. Next year, his salary is going to be $14.5 million in 2026. And you're looking at a player that had 8 sacks, 71 tackles last season, currently is scheduled to be the NFL's 36th highest paid defensive lineman. That's probably the rub for Cam Heyward. I can't see I completely blame him. And also, he's the 18th highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL. So word is that Heyward and the Steelers have addressed this privately. There are talks ongoing, but they're just not making any progress. And Heyward is responding by flat out saying that I'm not going to practice. 36 years old, longtime Pittsburgh Steelers captain, entering his 15th season with the team, voted All-Pro for the 4th time in 2026. Now, that Pro Bowl at 36 years old, he's the first defensive lineman over the age of 35 to be voted All-Pro since Bruce Smith in 1998. Man, that seems like a lifetime ago. He has 86 career sacks, entering year 15. So that's pretty crazy. So I think to get the best perspective on this, we've kind of seen the numbers on his contract, but let's kind of see the advantage, what the player's seeing here. And I think that's the important part, because maybe it can be seen through the eyes of what just happened to Rashawn Slater of the Chargers. If you don't know who Rashawn Slater is, he's their starting left tackle, an absolute star. He just got hurt. He's going to miss the 2025 season after tearing a patellar tendon during practice. And this was just announced yesterday. And he's not just your average player. You might not know this, but he just became the highest paid offensive lineman in NFL history just on July 27th, about 11 days ago. He signed a 4-year, $114 million contract extension. And, you know, he was supposed to be playing right now, but he was in practice. He was aligned at left tackle. It was a modified team drill period. It wasn't even 11-on-11s. Only 3 offensive linemen and 2 defensive tackles were on the field. Messed up his knee. So once again, that was 11 days ago, made him the highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL. And if you're a player like Cam Heyward, he sees that. He's like, I want to get paid what I'm worth. I want my money, because that could very easily happen to me. And then obviously negotiating, right? The team's like, well, absolutely, we see what happened to Slater, so we don't want to sink any cost into an older player. I really hope they get it settled. A team without Cam Heyward this year is not going to be fun at all. I think you guys as Steelers absolutely need him. So the horse is dead on that. Let's go to the other contract bombshell, and we're talking about All-Pro kicker Chris Boswell. This is a player that made a career-high 41 field goals on 44 attempts, had a career-high 158 points last season. He's also been privately seeking a new contract from the Steelers, just like Heyward. And that's from a source telling ESPN. Adam Schefter breaks absolutely everything. And this contract for Boswell, this is 3 years after signing a contract that at the time, it tied him with Justin Tucker, Sorry to say that name for a lot of you, but Justin Tucker, his contract 3 years ago tied him with Tucker as the NFL's highest paid kicker. But now that contract 3 years later, he was the lowest paid kicker in the AFC North last season. So obviously he wants his money. And then also both players are seeing the Steelers spend pretty lavishly, right? I don't have to go through them all, but it's interesting to see. DK Metcalf got a 4-year, $132 million extension. That was a team record at the time. And then TJ Watt got his bag. He got his extension. That made him the highest paid non-quarterback in league history with a 3-year, $123 million extension. And that came with $108 million guaranteed. Unbelievable. I can't even imagine what that money's like. And that's in addition to getting Rodgers in for 1 year, $13 million. Jalen Ramsey came in, Darius Slay, Jonnu Smith. Ramsey got $1.5 million as a raise. That brought his general salary up to $26.6. The Steelers aren't on the hook for all of that. And Smith got the contract that he wanted to get from Miami. He inked a 1 year, $12 million extension with the Steelers. So that's contract news. That's what's going on. Let's move forward, shall we? Let's talk about who's actually playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The preseason is officially starting. So excited. In a few games, I think like 4 weeks, is it? We're going to be into regular season action. Absolutely can't wait. The NFL is the absolute best. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are ramping up to get ready for this preseason game. What's preseason, right? Especially the first game. It's basically really just a great opportunity for young players, guys that have just joined the league, to try to prove what they can do, right? To be on the bubble, make that 53-man roster. And it's also, sorry about that, it's also like some of these players to get onto teams for the long term if they're veterans. On the other hand, if you're a veteran, if you're an established player on the team, it doesn't really provide a lot of value for players with years of experience, guys with years of experience in NFL competition to play in all these preseason games. So this shouldn't be that much of a surprise. A lot of players are going to be sitting for this Jacksonville game. And get ready for this. This is going to happen a lot because, as you know, the third preseason game of the year is really the dress rehearsal. That's when you're going to see all the starters. So let's kind of talk about what's actually happening. During a media availability session, head coach Mike Tomlin, he had something to say about keeping veterans off the field and why he was planning on doing so. And anytime we can hear from Coach Tomlin, I'm going to do it. I've identified some guys that won't be playing in this game this week, and it has nothing to do with injury. They need less runway to take off, to be quite honest with you, because of their experience and where they are in their careers. Oftentimes, I preserve them through this process while providing more opportunity for those that need more preparation or more opportunity to display their talents and so forth. So the Steelers have a big group of players that are holding out of the game, yet none of the names come as a surprise. They really shouldn't. But here are the names. Guys that aren't going to play: Aaron Rodgers, running back Jalen Warren, DK, Jonnu Smith, Freiermuth, Sayamalu, defensive lineman Heyward, outside linebacker TJ Watt. And that's also rounded out by names like Nick Herbig, Patrick Queen, Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr., Jalen Ramsey, Deshaun Elliott, kicker Chris Boswell with his wallet injury. So it shouldn't be that big of a surprise. I think the main player for me to watch in this preseason game is your rookie quarterback, Caleb Johnson. He's going to get some run here with Jalen Warren out. I think he might be the linchpin of this whole offense. I think he actually might be the bedrock of this offense, the one that really makes the big plays, the one that really makes it hum, the one that moves the chains. You guys let me know in the comments if you agree, but that's a player I'm going to be watching during this preseason game. Let me know in the comments what else you would like to hear about. It's been so fun growing this channel with you. I'm going to continue to be here on a daily basis, giving you a non-biased view of your Pittsburgh Steelers. Talk to you soon. Enjoy the preseason game.